Okay, you guys want to?
Why don't you start us off?
You want to start off? Well, when you play these kind of games, I mean, I told you all this on Wednesday. It's really more about us than the opponent. And that's not being disrespectful to the opponent at all. You know, we know they've been struggling just a little bit, and their record reflects that. But at the same time, they've been in a lot of games. You know, like I told you guys Wednesday, a minute to go at Charlotte, they were tied up with Middle Tennessee, a minute to go. So they're a capable team, and you have two guards can shoot it. Our challenge tonight was not to overlook Charlotte. You know, keep our focus right there and not look forward to Saturday night. And that's easily done sometimes. But for the most part, I don't know if we were totally tuned in, a couple guys early that first 10 minutes, but after I thought we got really tuned in, and I thought our energy level turned up a notch. I thought we got stops, got out in transition. You know, I think we had 14 steals, 19 assists. Again, we shoot 56% for the field. I think it's 4 games in a row. We've been above 55%. That may be probably some kind of stat right there too. I haven't had that in my career. That we've shot 4. Coach Chapman, have you ever had 4 games in a row you shoot above 55%?
Say again?
You ever had 4 games in a row you shoot above 55%?
No, we totaled 4 of them up. We probably could. No. Well, check that stat out, Zach. If you're telling me it's 4 times in a row above 55%, it's a pretty good stat. You know, sometimes I feel like we can't make a shot and we turn it over some. But, you know, was able to rest some guys, didn't play some guys. Only one guy over 30 minutes tonight. I thought my bench added 2. We got great productivity from Josh. You know, ability to drive that basketball. He's got another gear. Finishes both hands. Merrick added 2. I think he had, 5 points, 4 rebounds. You know, Jake added 2. Jake gets 8 points. So we had, 30 some odd points off the bench. That's a first, and that's good. That's what we need this time of year in particular. So again, we came out and did what we're supposed to have done, took care of business, and we'll turn our focus to this next one now.
You look forward to Saturday. It's going to be a big one.
That's a big one. It's a big one because it's what?
Next one?
I like that. You're learning, man. You're teachable. I like that.
You know I'm slow.
Well, this time of year, they really start getting magnified, too. They all start getting magnified. Some of them take on different meanings and different roles. Well, it's taking on a different meaning and different role Saturday. Old Dominion, it's very obvious, is probably playing better than anybody in this league right now. Where they've been, where they've won. You know, they won at Louisiana Tech, had them down 25 to go to Marshall and win tonight. Their 2 losses, I guess, was a home against Middle and against us. So they have a veteran team. They have great guard play. They're big around that baseline, and they're good. So we've got to be at our best in here Saturday afternoon and have a chance to win this game.
How good was it to keep Justin and Darius and some of their minutes down from what they usually play, knowing they're going to need to be at their best on Saturday?
Well, it was good. It was good to keep it down a little bit and still have the game under control. And, you know, Justin, 26 minutes, 16 points. He got us going around that rim some. It was good. And that's what we needed. So fatigue would not be I don't care if they played 35 minutes, it wouldn't be an excuse for Saturday. But it's very obvious Saturday when you have to play at Thursday, Saturday. It can be a factor sometimes, but it will not be a factor for us come Saturday afternoon. I really feel like, our guys will be ready. If we're good enough to win, we'll find out. That's why we're going to play the game, but we will be ready. They feel good about themselves. They feel good about how they're playing. I feel good about them. And we'll just got to see if we're good enough to beat a really good Old Dominion team in here.
Coach, with blowout games like this, how beneficial is it to your team to get everybody getting more minutes, especially right before tournament time? It's
really valuable. And what's really good is watch all those starters over there and stand up cheering for those subs. You like that now, and they're cheering for them. They're not doing it artificially. And they really want to see them be successful. Every one of them do. That's good. That's why I've said all along, everybody's good 1 through 5. 6, 7, and 8. If you got 9, those are the guys that win championships for you. Because those are the guys who have to not just play a role, they have to accept a role. And that's not always easy. You know, your coach is saying you got to play a role. Well, guys play a role, but if Chad don't accept it, then mentally he's not tuned in. Well, our bench now are playing roles, and they've accepted those roles. And it's not always easy for them to do that.
I would accept any role you give me, Coach.
I'll remember that.
What was the key to Josh being so successful tonight?
You know, on the first key, he was pretty aggressive. I looked up, and they were trying to guard him with a 4-man at a time. You know, you say, well, he can't shoot, so we're going to put our slowest guy on him because he can't shoot. But he was blowing by that guy. He had 15 on him a couple times. He had no chance to guard him off that bounce. You know, when he gets so and get that jump shot down a little bit, and again, believe it or not, he's a pretty good 15-foot shooter. He just don't look good. But it goes in pretty good in 15 feet. But when he gets so, he can really shoot that basketball and make people have to step out there. We've all seen that explosion he has off that bounce now.
Do you see him as, you know, obviously kind of a late start to the game, you know, missing the first 15, 16 games, but do you see every game he starts to play, he starts to get more and more confident, gets more and more of an idea of what's going on out there?
Yeah, no question. He gets more confidence, and I get more confidence in him. It's two things, you know, and it was good to have a game like this where we could just let him play through mistakes. You know, he's been in a lot of tight, tough games. It's been hard to let him play through mistakes. But he got some good experience down in that Texas trips. Both those games on the road, when that game was tough, he was in that game. At Rice, he was in that game a bunch. So, again, all the mistakes he makes this time of year, like I said, it's not his fault. It's hard for a young man to be thrown in this thing late January, expect him to understand the energy and the toughness you got to play with. They just don't understand. But he's gradually gotten better and better.
It seemed like the defensive effort got more intense towards the last 10 minutes of the first half, and then in the last 5 minutes, you guys actually didn't allow a single point. So what do you feel like was the difference towards those later stages of that first half?
Well, that's a good observation. We got more intense, and got more intense, gave us the opportunity to do what? Get more stops. We got more stops, got it in transition. You know, the first 4 or 5 minutes of that game, they're out rebounding us 7-3 or 7-4, and they had like 3 or 4 offensive rebounds. And 2 of those offensive rebounds led to 5 points, which were bad. That's a bad stat. But once we settled in, about that 10-minute mark, you're right. We started getting stops. I think we changed defenses a little bit more and tried to keep them off balance a little bit. But we got stops and got it out in transition.
And earlier this season, you told me that this team might have the best chemistry out of any team you've ever coached. How much do you think that could impact?
Did I say that?
Yeah, after the first game.
First game I said that? Mm-hmm. Goodness, I went on record early, and didn't I? You sure I said that?
Yeah, I got it on my SD card right now.
Do you really? So you record and keep all that stuff. So anything I say in the past, you can always throw it up at me.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I've said from day one I like this team. You know, as we've said, we got one guy back, Justin Johnson. So to put a whole bunch of new pieces together, and these guys accept each other as well as they have, you know, that's about, you got to have character for that. And the one thing I've said from day one is we've been always play good, but one thing I do know is not a reflection of who these kids are character-wise. I have a great bunch of people, and I mean that. Great bunch of young men. And I've told some of these guys this at times, and it's kind of the highest compliment I can give them. And I do it jokingly. It's probably not everybody on this team. I probably let babysit my kids, but one guy. I tell them that. Y'all can figure out the one guy whenever you want to, because I keep him on edge. I keep him on edge.
How do you feel like the crowd was tonight?
Yeah, I thought the crowd was good. You know, I like for them been hanging out of the rafters. Like for the students, been hanging out of the rafters. I didn't read your article. Did you get out there?
Yeah, I told Zach to show it to you.
Until Zach didn't do his job.
I will.
Thought it was good, but you know, I'll never accept it until it's every night hanging out of the rafters. And that's the way I think it should be. Why shouldn't it be?
where's the rest of the students at tonight? Where are they at? Again, there's going to come a time if we have to put a lottery on those tickets for students. The first 1,200 comes in, or we get tickets to them preseason, won't be no other tickets. We'll figure out a way to create a demand for those students too. It will happen. And again, Saturday's our last game. Senior night, we got 3 really good players and great people leaving this place. I know they say it's a sellout. Don't worry about that. Show up. Show up. Show up. Find somewhere to stick you. And again, we're going to need everybody in there Saturday night, Saturday afternoon to help us find a way to win this game. And again, the crowd, the fans can be the difference. We need you in there loud Saturday night. We need you in there just not to come watch us play. We need to feed off of you from the get-go Saturday. This is your last one. This is all the crowd's last one. Bring us your best one. Give us your best energy Saturday night. Change maybe from watching that game a little bit to give us that energy that we have to have, because that can be the huge difference in winning and losing.
Coach, do you think the last 30 minutes is some of the best basketball this team can play?
Oh, I don't know about that. I thought we were really good. I said this. North Texas game, you guys were there that second half. That first 16 minutes of the second half at North Texas was about as good as we've been. You go from 8 down to 12 up, 20 points against that team, we were good. Thought we carried it over to Rice then. We were pretty good against Rice on the road. When you do it on the road, that's good. I like that. We were pretty efficient that last 30 minutes. As a coach, I like for us to be more efficient. Instead of shooting 56%, whatever it was, I look at it and we should be 75%. That's the way I feel about it. Instead of being up 16 at halftime, should have been up 26 at halftime, because we leave too many things lay out there. Too many little casual things, mistakes here or there. And again, these kind of games don't cost you. But a game like Saturday, it can. As a coach, you just want your kids giving everything they got, every possession. That don't mean you play perfect. Just give me everything you got, every possession. You'll be amazed what effort does and what it overcomes.
Mustafa didn't score, but in those 7 minutes, it seemed like he did pretty much everything else. He even found Jake on an outlet pass in transition. Did you like his effort in those 7 minutes?
Listen, Moo just needs time to play. We see him in practice all the time. He's so uptight right now because he hasn't had a chance to really, nothing positive has happened for him between those lines. And all of his teammates are pulling for him to do something positive. We tried to get him a basket and didn't quite make it. He's one of our hardest workers every day, and one of our best leaders, and one of our toughest guys. There will come a time, does it happen this year? I don't know, that this game slows down for him. But when you have the character and the work ethic and the attitude he has, you're going to see his game. You guys hadn't seen him yet. Him shooting that 3, to be honest with you, he's a really good 3-point shooter. He really is. One of our better ones. We see it every day. He's just right now trying so hard. It's hard for us to leave him in long enough to let him play through mistakes. But he's a great young man.
Everybody good?
All right, guys. Saturday afternoon. Zach, you do the